Hey guys, this is Geronimo Reader and I am back for another video to continue my book The Bollywood Burglary by Geronimo Stilton. Today we are going to start from the chapter number 13th, A Curious Clue. So let's begin. Chapter 13th, A Curious Clue. When we got to Mumbai, Vinay Ratan Singh, Ratna's fiancé, came to meet us. The two mice hugged joyously. Vinay, these are my oldest friends, Ratna squeaked. He bowed. Your friends are my friends, darling. He kissed her paw. Come, we have to scurry up. Everything's ready for the wedding. He escorted us to the most beautiful hotel in Mumbai. The preparations for the wedding reception were in full swing. Ratna and Vinay had invited 1,000 guests. We saw a long table set up in the hall. Wow, 1,000 guests? This reception is totally mouse-rageous, Hercule exclaimed. Ratna scampered off for a quick rat nap. Tomorrow was a very big day for her and for all of us. The following morning, Ratna married Vinay Ratan Singh. She looked absolutely radiant. The hot of fire sparkled from the front of her silk sari. After the ceremony, there was a fabulous dinner with 1,000 happy guests. The wedding cake was whisker-licking good. A statue of two miniature dancing mice twirled on top. But they didn't distract Hercule. He couldn't wait to taste a big bite. Yum, yum, yummy. We feasted all day, but dusk came at last. The sun began to set, spreading its golden rays over the roofs of Mumbai. It was time for the bride and groom to dance their first dance. The ballroom quickly filled with elegant rodents dressed in brightly colored silks, chatting merrily in many different languages. The hall was on the 30th floor and the view of Mumbai was spectacular. Oh, how brightly the lights of the city twinkled. It was the last night of our stay in India. Hercule and I were very happy that the shoot was over, but sad to be leaving India so soon. We began reminiscing about our favorite parts of the trip. Hercule, in particular, was puffed up with pride. See, my dear Stilton, why, it's absolutely elementary. No crook stole the rupee. We thwarted the thief. We foiled the felon. The squeaks had barely left his snout when a shriek broke the night. The heart of the fire has been stolen, cried Ratna. We scampered to Ratna's side and found our friends in tears. I had the ruby around my neck, she whimpered. I danced with many guests, and then when I sat down with my groom, I realized I was no longer wearing the necklace. That crook tricked us. He hoodwinked us. He bamboozled us, cried Hercule. Don't despair. You can count on us, I said firmly. We would catch the thief. Hercule nodded. Have no fear. Hercule Poirot is here, he cried. Together, we turned to face the guests. Everyone freeze. Nobody move. No rodent sets up outside this room. Hercule searched the room while I searched the guests, but the ruby was nowhere to be found. Where could it have gone? But the ruby was nowhere to be found. As we looked for clues, we noticed a strange set of paw prints on the bride and groom's table. The prints led to a big picture window. They matched the prints I had found on my trailer during the shoot. The window was wide open, and a gentle breeze made the curtains sway to and fro. I looked out the window and noticed a very narrow ledge below it. The paw prints continued on the ledge and then onto the gutter. Maybe the thief had jumped to another roof and from there had hung from the gutter and then had jumped from window to window until he disappeared. We were on the 30th floor. What kind of rat burglar could jump from that height? Chapter number 14, A Crafty Crook. I looked around and noticed something strange. There was a tuft of fur caught in the lock of the window, and a banana peel lay on the ledge. The thief had to be small, since no one had seen him near Ratna. He was very agile, since he had leaped out the window from the 30th floor. He was losing tufts of fur, and he was absolutely very fond of bananas. I thought about the paw prints I had found in the trailers, and about the shiny objects that had gone missing, and all of Hercule's bananas that the mysterious thief had gnawed on. Then I remembered the little monkey that had bonked me on my head with a banana back when the tiger was chasing me through the jungle. That was the day I had found the door to my trailer wide open. That's when all the robberies had begun. Suddenly, I had an inspiration. By cheese, I think I have got it. Our pickpocket is a primate. Our crafty crook is a monkey, I squeaked. The problem is catching him and finding the heart of fire. The monkey could be nowhere, anywhere, and we had no idea where had been hidden the heart of fire. But Hercule had a plan. I'm going to need the power of potassium. Quickly, bring me all the bananas you can find, he shouted to the waiters. The waiters scurried away. A few moments later, there was an enormous pile of bananas in front of Hercule. He began peeling one banana after another. Soon the air was filled with the sweet scent of fresh bananas. I was starting to figure out what he was up to. Sometimes he thinks of some pretty ingenious ideas. Open all the windows and turn off the lights, he ordered. As soon as the room was dark, Hercule squeaked. And now everyone, hush. All the wedding guests froze and the room fell silent. The only sound was the breeze swishing through the open windows. Suddenly, we made out a shape on the ledge of the window. Nimbly, it leaped into the room. Turn on the lights, Hercule shouted. As soon as the lights clicked on, we saw a little monkey wearing the heart of fire around its neck. Hercule gently poured him a banana. Hi, little one, want a treat? He said softly. A banana for the ruby. The monkey didn't hesitate. He placed the ruby in Hercule's open paw and took the banana. Hercule proudly presented the heart of fire to Ratna. Thank you, my friends. I knew I could count on you, cried Ratna, hugging him. Chapter 15. A Famous Idea. When I returned to New Mouse City, Restless Hearts was already playing in movie theaters, and it was a fantastic success. There were long lines in front of all the theaters in the town. The movie's success had set off a craze for anything Indian. All across New Mouse City, Indian-style clothing, music, and food were more popular than Parmesan pastries. I went to the office and sat gloomily at my desk. The trip to India had been a fabulous diversion, but I still hadn't come up with an idea for a new series of books. I tried to concentrate. Should I publish books on gardening, or on do-it-yourself projects, or on sports? Maybe. I was completely focused on picking a topic when Hercule wandered into my office. My dear Stilton, what are you up to? Still thinking of our old pal Ratna? Shh, zip it, shut your snout. I'm trying to concentrate, I grumbled. Are you as concentrated as a can of cheese and banana soup? He giggled. I have got an idea, just a teensy little idea, he exclaimed. Why don't you write a series of books on food eaten around the world, starting with India? I had to admit, it was a really good idea, and that's how I came to publish a series of cookbooks called Goodness from Around the Globe. The books were a huge success. It's great to eat the traditional food of your own country, but it's also great to discover flavors traditional to other cultures. Variety is the spice of life. That's what's so great about diversity. And that's the truth, or my name isn't Jeronimus Chilton. Traditions are wonderful, and discovering the traditions of different rodents in faraway countries is wonderful too. Especially when it comes to cooking and eating delicious food. Rodents honor. Thank you, friends. By this chapter, the book is now complete, and we have read the whole of 15 chapters in the book The Bollywood Burglary by Jeronimus Chilton. Stay tuned and please subscribe to my channel to know which book I am going to read next. Till then, bye and thank you.